How well it's gonna work, I don't quite know. Now that I realize that there's no redstone blocker um, on input, but we'll figure something out. Okay, I think I got it hooked up right. I can't tell until we actually try it, but I think it's hooked up right. So to counter the issue of not being able to stop input, I have the smallest tank I could make, which is a regular fluid tank, holds 16 buckets. Even like even the stone drum holds 16. So 16 is the smallest. Um, and it'll always try to fill these. It'll always be able to fill these. There'll be filters on them, which I should probably put in before I start. And they will fill up. So if there's a bunch of liquid air in here, it will fill this tank because it'll dump the liquid air in there and immediately pull it into here. This tank will then fill, and that will stop it from extracting more, and it'll back up into there. To drain it, I start pulling out of this tank, and then it's able to pull out of there into this tank and continue on. So the controls here, the lever right now is pointed towards that tank. So these two should not be on. So this is not extracting because there's no signal, but this one would be. So active without signal. So this one is active to finish draining. And opposite on this side, this one is active without, because there's no signal. And this one's not active because there's not a signal. All right. So to get things started, I'm going to leave it on the current setting, but I at least want to get the air processing. I'm going to hook up our power lines here. And I guess the ME lines too. It really doesn't matter. And in theory, we should get some. Right, there's no second elevator. We should get some of this going. Nope, theory was wrong. We have the vibrant alloy conduit. It's right there. It's going down. It's going over. You know, I don't think I actually finished connecting it. I think all I connected was this thing. There's a separate line right here. Yep. Oops. We should have stuff happening, maybe? All right, it's making air. Oops. There's actually no right click on this. It is making the air. And it'll be distributing it to here. Eventually these will hit 4 buckets. And they all turn on. Awesome. In theory, this should have enough power to essentially keep these running now. They should hit 4 again before it's done. But it's not looking that way. Let's see what happens. Are they going to turn red? Darn it, they turned red. All right, we'll need a little bit more air processing than that. It's not long, though. So I'll have to see. And I don't think I have it. No, I do have it extracting. Oh, I don't have it extracting. What was the fluid that just went down? Pull. Pull. I could have sworn I saw some fluid running down these pipes. Not sure what that was then. We should get... There it is. We're getting the liquid air built up. Can't see the tank progress, but it's filling it. Slowly but surely. Alright, let's give this a try. I don't have all the filters set up. Let's see what happens here. Oh. Let me... It needs to be a piece of redstone right there. Oops. Just ignore this. Nothing to see here. I also need that to be a stairs. It should be going now. That's the important thing. I need to make one more change. I don't see any fluids running down these pipes. That's on, which turns these on. This one should be extracting. I see the fluid now. Didn't see it a few moments ago. I don't see it here. It's just slow? Or can it not actually, like, push that far? What? Oh, it's going. One, two, go. Okay. It is processing now, which is really fast. So now what we got to do is we got to tell it where to send these. It already did it twice. Okay. I can't grab it individually. Need the noble gases. So here's what we'll do. Put a little tank here. Disconnect it from everything else. Tell the noble gases to extract. Put it into here. I can grab a bucket of that. Alright. Tell this to stop extracting. And I didn't think this far. I'm gonna swap this lever. Yeah, I gotta fix the... I can just move this. Weird the return pipe didn't do anything. I don't think I have it enabled yet. So I gotta tell this right here to only allow noble gases. Cool. And then this one here, which is the main output from everything, to also only allow noble gases. I have two. Oh, that's a liquid air bucket. Make sure I don't miss those up. Noble gases. Noble gases. All right. So then, I don't have anything for these. So I'm going to set these to not insert right now. So it ignores these tanks. And the other three outputs we get are oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. So don't insert into these either yet. I should be able to pull from here and it'll go into the far tank. Hopefully. It went nowhere. What? Oh, I have that set, so it probably pulled it out and went into here. No. It's not what I wanted. Actually, no, it's in that tank maybe. I don't know. This is hard. That's empty. It should have gone into here, but it looks like it's probably stuck in this pipe because I didn't set this to be constantly pulling. So now it should actually end up in there once that clears out. It goes into here. Theory. Unless, of course, I can't pull out of this. I don't think I could pull out of this. Well, that's unfortunate. Does extracting here just not work? That's real weird. Oh, there we go. You can. You just have to do it manually. which kind of defeats the whole purpose of everything I was trying to do. So yeah, that's fun. There's some amount of noble gases in there, I guess. Some strange amount of noble gases. Okay, I think I got this set up. So, I got an electrolyzer right here, which I have to run power to real quick, in order to take the carbon dioxide and pull the carbon out of it. A carbon itself is really cheap to make. You just pulverize a coal. I have tens of thousands of coal, and then you throw it in a centrifuge. It's real cheap, but it still takes effort. So doing it this way, just to get like a passive supply of carbon, even though it's kind of a trickle, it's still gonna be nice. For the nitrogen and oxygen, I have double reinforced large drums, which should hold 8K buckets each. I have it set up so that fluids come into the top drum and get pulled into the bottom, which is connected to a storage drawer. So it can hold 8K buckets, but will only see 4K at a time. The trash can is set to negative priority, so it'll take any overflow. And that's all the outputs from the liquid air. I should be able to turn these on. And it should send everything where it needs to go. I might need to increase the speed of some of these because we get a lot of stuff, but maybe not. I'll have to see how it handles as it's going. 30, 45 buckets, 53 buckets, and some noble gases. All right, let's switch this back over. Pulling that. Looks like what I'm going to have to do every time is manually empty this. Isn't the worst. Still just kind of annoying. Anything in there? It says there's noble gases in there. Weird. Alright, at this point it seems to be working as intended, as far as I can tell. Still could upgrade the air generation a tiny bit. Because there is that like 5% downtime when they're not quite filled, ready for the next batch. But they finished the batch before. Right now. They flick off and then flick back on. So I could add another air collector for that. To get that extra like 5% efficiency. Not super worried about it. Everything else seems to be processing fine. Already got 300 buckets of hydrogen, 1,000 buckets of nitrogen. A lot of that stuff in air. A little bit of carbon out, a little trickle. And for noble gases, the tank doesn't seem to work for noble gases. They have no color. But we got 25 buckets worth. I have to go down there to look every time. So we are getting some, almost enough to do a batch. But I think I'm just going to kind of leave this all running over here for a bit and work on other stuff. In terms of power, it hasn't messed with power. We're still stable and full. I still just have steam. I still just have steel boilers here, and this is kind of how I'm gauging how much power I'm using. If we start losing steam, that means I'm starting to use more power. And it's fine. It's all very stable. So in other news, the tungsten steel finished, which means we can get started on the tungsten steel coils. This was how we started the episode, being like, well, I gotta let this sit for a bit. They're now done, and we can make the tungsten steel coils. The reason we want this, I actually already forgot. What did I want this for? Lumium, I think. Yeah, Lumium's one of them. Because for the tier 5 circuits, we can make the tier 5 mainframe, but it's super expensive. we want to get to the second tier 5 circuit, which takes Lumium Wire, which seems to be just the tier 5 wire of choice because it has no loss per block. So we need a bunch of Lumium. And of course, Lumium comes from a blast furnace with primal mana at 4,500 Kelvin temperatures. So I'll make the tungsten steel wire 2 stacks of ingots per blast furnace. So that's a stack of tungsten and a stack of steel. All wired down and then made into blocks. Very good, very good. Tear this out. Move the nichrome to a different machine. Kind of pass it down. Hand-me-down coils. This one gets the dark blue tungsten steel. Ooh, that looks cool. The temperature of 4,500 Kelvin. Here. Lumium. We're going to make Lumium. This one takes a significant amount of time to cook, so make sure to have it going constantly. Does it? What? 12 minutes at 1200 EU per tick. But so not 12 minutes, but 12 minutes. Holy cow. If I overclock it, I can get 2048, which would be 1728 divided by 2048, 843 ticks, which would be like a minute in theory, probably more like 2. But still, that's so slow for each ingot. Each ingot. Good thing I looked at that, because holy cow. All right, we need tin alloy, sterling silver, luminescence, energized clathrate. Oh, that's what the clathrate does. Right, that is silver and copper. All right, let's try to make some of this. And of course, the first step is to extract the mana. Nice. This stuff was a pain to get before. Two stacks. Sure. Make as much as possible. And I'll just keep the mana in there, I suppose. Which is... It's in one of these. Yeah, 12 buckets of mana. I don't know how much each takes, but... Hopefully this doesn't take too long. So like a minute and a half each. That's still a really long time. That's so long. Holy cow. I upgraded this to EU. Holy cow, this is consuming 4K EU a tick. It's gonna destroy my power. Probably, unless I'm misunderstanding something. It's not. I don't get it. I don't know why that's not using... I don't know why my power is not totally drained. 4,096 EU per tick is 16K RF per tick. This should be plummeting. But it's not. I don't know. Alright, this thing's been running for a bit. Timed it out. It is 80... 92 seconds. It's 23 seconds for 25%. So it's 92 seconds per Lumium. Still a very long time. We are officially not at full power. Not losing power ridiculously fast. But we are not at full power anymore. And we've made 11 Lumium. Yay. But guess what? This is where I kind of went, oh, geez. Lumium makes Lumium plates, which are the new machine casings for LUV. I don't know what LUV is supposed to stand for. Ludicrous voltage, maybe? I feel like we skipped one, though. We have high voltage, extreme voltage, insane voltage, which I believe is tungsten steel. We just skipped IV. And there's ludicrous voltage, which is Lumium. And ZPM, which is iridium. Yeah. And then ultra, I guess, which is osmium. Then max, which is neutronium. We're on Lumium, which takes 92 seconds per ingot, which is very long. And also apparently need something else for the hulls anyway. Yeah, Vanadium Gallium, which comes from Vanadium Gallium. Whoa. I get 500 seconds to process this. Holy cow. Vanadium comes from vanadium, which comes from... No idea. No idea we're supposed to get this stuff. It's probably going to tell me. Vanadium is an element acquired by processing vanadium magnetite. I'm not too worried about that. What we wanted this for is to hopefully solve some of this power issue. Is to make the titanium boilers. I suppose I could have done it this way, couldn't I have? Oh, that's so much cheaper. Yeah, screw it, we'll just do it this way. I could have skipped this whole thing if I just did this. The concern was that these take tier 5 circuits, and if we wanted to make 2 titanium boilers, we'd need 8 of these, which is like multiple stacks of the tier 2s. But if we can make the second tier 5 circuit, it's much less stacks of the 3s. But it takes Lumium. However, we could do it this way. We already have the base steel boilers. We just need some tier 3s, which are real easy. And only 2 titanium. So, how many... I always get this number wrong. What do we need in terms of... Oops. In terms of blocks to actually make the thing? We have firebox casings times 7. We have these 3 here. It then wraps around for 8... for 7, 7, and 8, which is 22 on top of it. These will be able to stay. We'll nab this. We'll leave those. So 7 firebox casings, 22 machine blocks, and the boiler center. All right. What does that look like? If I do titanium machine casing, 22 takes only 59 titanium. That's really not that bad. And I'll also do... grab a few of these, specifically 4 of them, and we'll start working on crafting it this way. All right, we are low on power. So this is probably not the best plan because we're about to cut off our steam production for a bit. But I got fireboxes, machine casings. All I need are the boilers themselves. Oh, I need the pipes in the middle. Shoot. I forgot about that piece. Regardless, let me put this into the assembly machine so it starts processing away. Not enough in that one. Put in this one then. Oh shoot. No. It made a tier 4 instead of that thing. Need these. I need titanium pipes. I need to craft this twice. So that's a lot of titanium. I need 2 frames. So let's do that. I need 8 plates and then a bunch of titanium for the pipes. So much. It's a lot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24. Jeez. Just into medium pipes. I'm like, yeah, this isn't that expensive. This isn't that bad. And then it turns out to be really bad. It's fine. It's fine. We're not using titanium for anything else. It's fine. I just want to do this kind of fast because we're losing power while this thing's not running. These are going to need to be upgraded a ton. I got to figure out what to do about this because there's not enough there's not enough surface area on this valve to manage all the fluids we need. I might end up swapping this out for like a row of drums. So there's like 10 drums it can insert into. I'm going to let this one heat up before I start building the next one. So this one can continue to produce steam. Let this one essentially get to where this one's at. Which will take a few minutes. And then we'll replace this one. Ready, set, go. Go. I'm losing time. I'm just fumbling all over the place. Start tearing down. Assembling the new one. And I'll go grab the head, the controller. Speedrun. Ah. My split's done. Alright. Here it is. 2 pink and 1 gray. This one is almost at the rate of the steel at 1600. I think it goes up to almost 3000. No, it goes to like 37, doesn't it? The hardest thing is going to be just controlling the massive amount of liquids I'm transporting around. These conduits were not meant for this much speed. But we'll figure it out. Figure it out when we get there. Also, apparently, we've maxed out the coal in this. 131,000. And, like, this is maxed out even. So, yeah, that's going well. I don't even think I have all the modules in. I don't. Yeah, we're overpowered right now. Of course, it's going to start consuming more as they... Well, they're going to start consuming more now, actually. But we'll see how it balances out. It should be fine. But math says it should be fine. All right, things seem to be running fine over here. We left it to do the Lumium for a bit. Got 57 now. It's been running nonstop pretty much. Let's see how things are looking here. Oxygen, we got half a drum. Nitrogen, we almost got 2 drums already. The carbon up to a stack. Again, trickles in, but it still compiles a little bit. And it looks like the fluids do show up eventually. They showed up at around 50 buckets. You could start seeing it. So it just must be too thin of a line of fluids. This can hold 8,000 buckets. More than 8,000. I forget how many. A lot. Yeah, 8,000 buckets. We got 171, which is enough for 2 processes of noble gases. 3. I can math. We're going to switch over and do that. I'm going to flip this lever. I then have to purge the remaining air from here. This will start filling up with noble gases. hopefully they go to the right spot. Just to be sure, I'm going to remove the trash can because I don't want anything trashed here. And I'll make sure they end up in a tank properly. 1, 2, 3. There it goes. It takes a little bit longer for this one. Just dump this air. Oops. Put this air back in here. Nope. Dump. Alright. Third of the way there. I'm not sure if it's going to show up in these. 1 or 2 of them might. But it will pull them out, I think. It's not going to dump it in here because there's a filter on this. It's not going to dump it in these because there's filters on those. So it should find a tank for each of them, essentially. I'm hoping. About to find out. In 5 seconds. Go. All right, we got the gases. They have not gone anywhere yet. Interesting. Good thing I moved the trash can. Oh, because I have these set to the other way around. All right. Boop. That's now got argon going into it. Let's let the argon finish. Just so it doesn't go into more than one tank. Argon's done. Got some krypton in here. Neon's going in here. Cool. Helium into here. And xeon into there. And only one of them is actually visible. Nice. All right, once the 3 of them are processed, we should have at least like 2 of them visible. This one's got 70 buckets already, but 22 isn't even showing up. Yeah, these, the xeon and the argon are, krypton, are very hard to come by. But hopefully over time we will accumulate them a bit. Is it already out of noble gases? It is. Is it already done processing the last batch? Not quite. Right, once it's done with this, I'll have to switch it back, and then we will let the noble gases build up again. There it is. All right, cool. We at least got some purple. We got green, we got purple. And with that, I think we're going to call the episode here. This thing's cool. It's much emptier than I expected somehow, but it seems to be functioning fine. There's some optimizations I could do to just kind of how I interact with it. Having to go underneath every time to dump fluids is kind of annoying, but it's working. I can just leave it running. It'll do the thing. I don't have to check back for hours and hours and hours. And then I can switch it over. I'm getting little trickles of this stuff over here, but I don't think you actually need much of it anyway. So we'll see how that ends up working. In terms of quests, next we are looking probably to go over to here. To some reactor stuff would be pretty cool. It's going to take yttrium and barium and boron and stuff like that, but we'll have to look at that next time. But until then, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.